Yeah. uh-huh. Yeah. Shit. Grams leaders CC's pounds. Close cash, close call, close encounter, close up, pounds of liters of grams, get your dosed up, cut this up and post up, and get dosed up. This for them voted like the move and make the most of. Monday night at 8, I can't wait to set you straight. These opinions and debates for them folk that can't relate. I got to elevate your mind through these signs of the time. Dishing out that medication for that deaf, dumb and blind. And I ain't hard to find, you can catch me in those trenches. I do the groundwork and I ain't waiting on no sense. I be touching on them topics politicians fail to mention. And I don't vote for nobody that ain't got good intentions. I'm relentless for my people and I'm here to make a change. I got that truth serum hooked directly to your veins. Hey, this is for my people, tune in, catch a close-up. Close-up, close-up, a close-up, grams of it. Tune in, liters of it, close-up, pounds of it. Pounds of it, yeah, grams of it, liters of it, pounds, get your dosed up, dosed up, dosed up, dosed up, dosed up.
Yeah, get dosed up. What's happening? This is your host, Dose. The show is Dosed Up. It's Monday night at 8. That's my usual lab in the background.
That's right.
But today I have a special guest, y'all, and that guest is Miss Tisha Glenn. As a matter of fact, though, you know what I'm saying, she actually participated in the last episode, which is why she's on here now.
Okay. Welcome.
Okay. Well, what we do on this show is we have a little weekend recap. We say, you know, if we want to, what we did over the weekend. So right now, I pulled something off that was magnificent, Lab, man. I'm very impressed with the group that I work with and proud of the opportunity that I had. But I want to shout out to Jano and Marlene Proctor because I was on the set of Sleeping Shadows. You know, they invited me, invited me and had me be like the cameraman.
Okay.
So it was interesting for me to see different perspectives and views from how they shoot and what they're writing. And also, you know, it's going to be for IMB credits. So I appreciate that. Got a chance to network like how we normally talk about, you know what I'm saying? And this movie will be distributed by Tubi. So it's like, you know, putting some eggs in my basket over this weekend.
Right.
But like I said, and you know, once you network, you got actors and stuff that you can use for whatever projects that you want to use. But we rocking with the Sleeping Shadows for right now.
Okay. That's what's up. That was a very productive weekend.
Yeah. You know, obviously I got a chance to spend some personal time with my lady. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make time and make room for that.
Right.
You know.
How did you feel being behind the camera instead of in front of the camera this time?
Okay, now it's funny that you asked that because I actually made a comment about that. Being behind the camera, it feels like you have more power.
Okay.
You're more of a somebody, but you got to look at it like this too.
Right.
The celebrity ain't gonna get no FaceTime if the cameraman don't film him or the producer don't write him in the script.
Right.
So a lot of times when you step on the scene, it's more like, who is that? You know what I'm saying? Because everybody else you can tell they had the energy of wanting to be seen.
Okay.
So how I played that, I just said, I just made sure that I placated people in the spaces that they need to be so I can get, you know, a face shot of everybody.
Okay.
And if they wanted to wear a mask, I was like, okay, well, let's get them doing something without it first as they put it on. So at least we know who that is.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I can go with that. I can go with that.
Yeah, so I'm going to take this experience and use it, obviously, but I told you I was trying to cut out a lot of the middleman.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't know I was going to be, you know what I'm saying, an asset like this, just like that. I thought I was just cutting out middlemen and, you know, doing things kind of selfie type wise, but trying to do basically scenes in the movie is dope.
Okay. Hey, I can appreciate that. I mean, you know, when you learn something different and you try to, you know, expand your horizons, it's always good to fall in with people who will let you do that. You know what I'm saying? I DJ'd a party over the weekend on Saturday. You know, I think the party stuff's gonna start picking up a little bit. You know, I don't really advertise. You know, we talked about this. I don't advertise for
yeah.
DJing, but I always seem to fall into several parties during the year. So, I did DJ a party this weekend. You know, we did like two shows yesterday. You know,
Okay.
Westside Misfits was in.
Okay.
Shannon Jackby show was in. So we had a pretty busy weekend.
Rolling.
Rolling.
Content.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. And how did you spend your weekend?
Well, rest in peace to my auntie Mary.
Oh.
Sorry
We
to hear
buried
that.
my aunt this weekend, but I can say it was absolutely one of the most beautifulest homegoings I've ever attended. It was absolutely stunning. So she sent my aunt away well. Shout out to Akira, my cousin. So I got
Drop a bomb on that if you don't mind.
Well, I don't know if we should stop with bomb.
Well,
How about this? With the horn.
But what I can say, I got to spend time with family.
Okay.
And so that in itself was the most important thing. So we got close again. Hey, it was for the funeral, but we were there all together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we won't clap to that. That's a sad occasion, but we're glad that you made time to come
And it
into the
was-
studio and sit down with us and talk with Dose about this great topic. We always want a woman's perspective when we talk about things like this.
Absolutely.
Because me and him could get kind of gritty about it. We like,
Yeah.
we ain't had no woman say nothing about it, so
Yeah, and then
we're
like
thankful that you agreed to come.
Absolutely.
And then what we say isn't law, you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
That's why we want to hear different perspectives. I try to usually just be relatable or opinionated from time to time, so definitely not having you on here when we're getting ready to start this topic and this conversation is going to be awesome. But I would like to say for those that are listening in, since I do have a special guest today, I'm pushing this. If you would like to call in and speak to her or me, it's 678-740-9894. And Lab, no, I don't even hardly be on it like that. But I'm pumping this episode because I'm
Never
lit.
say the phone
I'm
number.
telling you,
Ever.
man, so
And that's what I was looking for last
Right.
week. I was just typing. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. It was a lot I wanted to say.
Okay, so with that being said, all right, of course the topic is sex versus intimacy. This is like a part 2 of it. And this time I'll give you the floor for what was something that you may have wanted to add towards the ending of the episode that we maybe didn't even have time for, and we can start out with something like that, or just, a thought of yours that you would like to say about this topic, and then we'll go from what some of the notes that we have.
I know that what got me all interested is when we began to talk about the healing and what all this stuff entails as far as sex versus intimacy, relationships, and all of that. That what intrigued me was, we won't go into detail. We got plenty of time, but the specifics was about sex versus intimacy. It just depends on what type of relationship you are in, whether it's a marriage, a situationship.
I got you.
Okay, that's why I mean different, because we just never know. We have to first define the relationship to be able to give you the proper definition to if it's sex versus intimacy.
Okay.
So I got off into the healing part because we started talking about everything. So that's why I had started talking about that, because it was an actual relationship. So that's where we left off at last week. But hey, I'm willing to answer any questions and go and follow your lead.
What we'll do is relationship. We'll start with that. And a lot of times, because this still goes with it, age can factor into the relationship. Meaning a lot of times, if you're young and you're not necessarily ready to be committed and maybe kind of inexperienced, it can, one, affect the sex life, or it can affect whether you're intimate or not. A lot of times I see that the youth tend not to necessarily take relationships as serious. At least I know young men don't. Now women, it's a little bit different because they're still more nurturing even at a young age. God bless them, you know what I'm saying? And they have ideas of what they want and compassion for how they want to enter something. Dudes just be a little bit more physical when they're younger. So with the age factors, I'm saying and thinking that when you get to be at least my age, you should have had enough sense to understand that you want to be with a person for a duration, I want to help more than just sit there and just basically make it be about sex in the bed. And so we had discussed, like I said, intimacy has kind of like the intellect to it, the spiritual, and it evolves into a deeper relationship.
As far as, first of all, the difference, they can sometimes work interchangeably, but with sex, it's more physical. I would say it's more physical, and it has a lot to do with an attraction versus intimacy. We're talking about emotional. We're talking about emotions, because if I'm intimately into you, now my emotions is tied into this, versus me just, oh, she fine, let me just, you know, so there's a difference there. And that also can define what, like, I go back to situationship. Now, this is my word, I made it up, and I'm going to expand on it eventually. An imaginationship.
Imaginationship.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I experienced.
Okay.
The word of the day.
All right. Imaginationship.
Imaginationship.
Okay.
For 15 years. I won't go into detail, but I came up with that because anyone that could, I don't know, the situation, it just disappears. You're together, I mean, have a whole life together, and someone walks away. And, you know, I can't think about the memories. I can't, because I got to get past what's going on right here. That is my definition of an imaginationship. So we got situationship, imaginationship, we got all the ships.
Okay.
And that one right there in particular, which I expand on later on, but that is one of the ships as well that I want to throw in the vocabulary.
So that threw. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah.
That your definition kind of threw me a little differently, because I'm thinking imaginationship is now, and of course this is your word, your definition is goes with it. But I'm thinking like you're in a relationship with somebody that doesn't know they're in a relationship with you.
Well, and that's right.
Okay.
But so 15 years and you walk away. I was in a relationship, I guess. Were you? So that's what I mean. So we're on the same page.
Nothing. So I get what you're saying. Okay. Nothing after the 15 years. If it was a problem within the relationship, there was nothing done to try to mend that relationship before we walked away.
Right, but there was no red flags to know.
Oh.
It was nothing to indicate. Yeah.
Okay, now that's different. Lady Lion Love said intimacy starts first. Women initiate. It's in nature.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is what I wanted to say, because she said when she was talking about the sex and the emotions, right? All right, sex is physical, intimacy involves emotions. Well, I look at it like this, and I've experienced this personally. If you piss a woman off and she's emotionally not with her emotions, then sometimes she's not going to even want to do the physical thing, which is sex. So sex, it has emotions as well. It just gets better when you're intimate with them, because now you're intellectually and you're spiritually trying to link on that emotional level. But some emotions gonna be involved, whether they halfway freaky emotions or some like just emotions to the point where people are aggressive with it or however. But if there aren't any emotions for a lot of women, now for some women that may do this for a trade, they might be able to take the emotion out at that point, but they're still affected some kind of way emotionally when they're at home somewhere or whatever. But most of the time, both of them gonna have to involve some type of emotion, but it just may not be an intimate emotion.
There can be sex without being attached. You can be unattached.
But at some point, without being attached at all, with no emotions, no whatsoever on both ends. Because see, some dudes might not show their emotion, but the simple fact that they smashing is something particularly involved, or the emotion may not come, but then what happens when somebody else has what they have? Then where's the emotion? Do they stay? Because if they don't, then there was some emotion involved that you just didn't know about. Meaning, like, there be some people who may be in, let's just say, a situationship, but still, okay, as soon as someone else interferes in that situationship, then the ship gets rocked, basically.
I think it's more of like I've never had one. Like I was married for a very long time, before I got divorced. I was married since I was 18. you know, like one night stands. I don't think there's any emotions that tied to one night stands. Now, if there are emotions tied to one night stands, you have to be a person that's been stalking this person for a long time, and then all of a sudden it drops on you, or you've been in their presence for a long time, been liking them for a long time, and then something happens to where.
So will you show the emotion of, yeah, I like that when they
Well,
doing something to you? Pleasure emotion. Do you
Yeah,
show that?
I think that when it comes to sex, without the intimacy part or the emotional part, it's always pleasure. We're always trying to get pleasure out of a sexual act, regardless to what the act may be, and regardless to if you feel like you're emotionally attached to this person. We have to separate the emotions from the pleasure part as we do the intimacy from the sex part, because when we're having sex, we are just trying to get pleasure. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess it's deeper when you are emotionally attached to that person. Of course, like when I was married, of course I'm emotionally attached to this woman because I've been married to her for 15, 20, 25 years. So of course I'm emotionally attached. So when we have sex, it's a deeper understanding. So
when you get your one night stand, you want to share it with me?
if it's the one night stand she wants to be shared, yeah.
At the same time?
No, well, I'm not going to be in the room with you at the same time.
So
but
boo,
if she
boo,
wants
boo.
to- if she
Now
wants
there
to-
goes something involved.
If she
Oh,
wants to
yeah,
skip the Malou to another room with you, that's on her. I don't control that. That's even. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not emotionally attached to this person. Now, maybe after the third or fourth or fifth time we get together and something happens, then the emotions will most likely
If it's
start.
a second time, it's gonna already be some type of emotion because you already hooked damn near liking the pleasure. That's that comeback. It's something
I don't know.
physical wise.
I don't know. I guess I'm thinking. When I'm thinking in emotional time, you could jump in anytime.
I'm not saying attached.
we
You
do
saying
this all the
attached.
time.
I'm just saying
listening because-
you saying attached. Pleasure don't have to be attached to shit.
Yeah, but if we're doing we're not going to get emotionally attached generally after the second time we do it. It does take a couple of times because I got to have a conversation with you. If we're only getting together to have sex, and I don't even know if you could go 2 + 2 if you didn't even know what that is. How can I get emotionally attached to you? Because it takes more than sex to get emotionally attached. You have
But
to have
see,
a
what you're
conversation.
describing to me is an emotion of not wanting to be with them.
I get that, but you're saying after the second time you're going to be emotionally attached.
I
because
never.
you're trying
You
to-
said attached. I
No,
did never
well,
say the word
I
attached.
said-
I said an
I said-
emotion is involved. Attachment meaning you wanna. I don't know. I don't necessarily get emotionally attached unless I'm actually intimately with somebody.
Right,
So,
right.
but emotion wise, there have been some emotions towards somebody that I smashed and I'm not necessarily intimate with. I didn't say they were necessarily like love emotions. I mean, you see.
I get what you're saying.
Oh, you know.
But I guess we're saying the same thing, but we're saying it differently. We're gonna agree to disagree. Leilani Love said, one night stand, I never did that. Are we using our situations or just talking in general?
You can do whatever, whichever one you want. Exactly.
We are
Both.
dipping and dabbing.
Yeah. Exactly.
We have to use our experiences to understand to have this conversation because we've
Your
never experienced
experiences,
either one of them.
They shape you.
Right.
And
We
that-
never experienced
Without
any of this.
experience.
And
Can't
that's
talk about it.
and that's the second one on the list. So the third one we'll go to will be traumas. Sometimes the trauma that you've been into can affect your sex life. It can affect whether you're intimate or not. That I know. So
But they call traumas as carrying baggage. Do you agree with that? Do
no,
you
now
think
some things
that-
aren't baggage if it happened to someone and they didn't want it to when they were younger or something like that. You can't
Well, that's
necessarily
not.
just.
I don't
Yeah,
wanna
that's
talk
kind of
about, like,
sensitive. Yeah,
bad,
yeah.
bad stuff. I'm
I
talking
got you.
about just in a relationship.
Those
like
that
she
carry
said,
the X with them or something,
Right.
or just,
like she said, they
Or
walked
even
away.
childhood memories.
Right.
And it don't have to be a sexual childhood.
Right, but I'm talking about like you said, that using an imagination ship,
Oh,
and
wow.
they walked away.
Okay.
That's kind of a traumatic thing.
Well, that trauma stems from childhood.
okay.
okay.
Being connected to someone.
Mm-hmm.
My mama didn't protect me,
Okay.
right? I'm going deep now.
I got you.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not saying my mama. I'm giving y'all the example.
right,
okay?
Exactly. Yeah.
I
There's.
ain't saying that.
Yeah. We get it.
Right.
So an example. Let's just say he wasn't protected as a child, so you feel unprotected. So when something happened, that's how you lash out. You feel like you didn't protect my feelings. You didn't. Now you're reverting back to when you was a child. That's why it's so important to get that baggage off of you. Can you imagine when people say stuff like something's heavy? Imagine carrying a load. Honestly, let's just do it like that. We have a load on us. You walking around. You at work. You got this load. You going to church. You got this load. You in the car. You got this load. Okay, I'm trying to give you guys a visual. Okay, that's heavy. Who wants to walk around like that? We don't understand that trauma, that baggage. And I'm gonna just say it. Some men carry, because I'm going by my experience. When we talk about your experience shape you. Here you are. You're carrying around so much. Eventually, what's gonna happen? You gotta drop that load somewhere. Something's gonna do something to trigger you.
Pressure
now
button.
here we go.
Yeah. And
see what I'm
I'm
saying?
guilty of this. I carry around a lot of bags because I don't think most women can be trusted. But that is just something that I've experienced through my relationship of being married. You know, I was married for a long time, and I was all in 110%.
Say that.
You get what I'm saying? So to find out that this person not necessarily was, but also doing other things that would be disrespectful towards me, it makes me feel like, okay, no matter how I treat you or what I do for you, you still going to choose to do other things that may not be conducive to building our relationship in our future. So
Absolutely.
for me, when I look, and this is just in general, when I look at women and I talk to women, I've talked to several women, and don't get me wrong, I'm from Chicago, so my experiences are a little different as when it comes to women, because when I was in Chicago, they act a little different. Women in Atlanta are just straightforward, and they tell you, you know, what it is. And I had to get used to that because my ex-wife is from Chicago too. So I had to get used to that.
Cultural differences.
Right. Cultural differences. You're 100% correct. So now I look at it like when I talk to a woman or when I say something to them or we have a conversation, my main goal, my main thought is, what's she coming at me for? What's she coming at me with? And I'm always gonna have a wall up and expect the BS because I don't want to be traumatized by it later on, not expecting it.
Absolutely.
I don't want to drop them walls. I want you to. I mean, if you're gonna be with me, you want to climb over it instead of against it because
that's good.
Once you get what I'm saying. Once because I'm always gonna have them up now. It's just a part of me, and that may be
It's
bad.
just your makeup.
Right.
So let me tell you this. I look at it as we all have baggage. You see what I'm saying? To me, it's just as far as can you trust or I don't come with problems. Baggage is different than problems are. Baggage could be somebody's health issue to a degree, but someone who's intimate with you loves them. But you coming in a relationship with something, you see what I'm saying, that they may not view as a problem. To me, I would say problems way more than what baggage, because what they call baggage, a kid or something like that, or what maybe
Well, they call baggage problems too,
Okay.
because they say you shouldn't carry your baggage. You shouldn't carry your baggage into new relationships. But I call baggage experiences because if I don't take this experience that I've learned from the last relationship, then I'm going to I may repeat that in this new relationship because I haven't learned. Why would anybody? Anybody, what's your name? I'm sorry. What's your
Tia.
Tia. Anyone want to experience a hurt and pain so bad twice? Why would you want to do that? So you're going to protect yourself. I don't care what anyone says. You're going to protect it, whether it be slightly or a lot. You're going to protect yourself, your heart, and your feelings if you've experienced heartbreak before. That's just natural.
So like I say, I don't really know nobody that don't have baggage. It's just how much you got or what's in it.
Well,
you can have some quality stuff in the luggage.
That's
But
good.
as long as you don't have
That's good. But here's the thing: what you gotta understand. At the end of the day, we have to feel safe. Yeah, it's chances that we take, but we have to feel safe in that process. And if we don't feel safe, we're not gonna do nothing. And the first thing, what people gotta understand, you have to heal. It's been a year, maybe almost a year and a half or something like that. Whatever, I don't know. I'm healing. I'm having fun. I'm doing things to kind of keep my mind off of it. But you have to heal. The jumping into relationship, that's not healing, because you're adding to your trauma
So
at the end of the day.
what that means with the people that just in it for sex, I don't know, they not
Well, as
healing
long
because
as
they
that's
jumped
what you
into.
establish, if that's what you establish and it's just that, and you not, it may still hurt you. I don't know, but if you established it, I think you'll be fine.
What's your IG?
But that's the thing. Oh yeah.
What's your IG? Give your IG. Slick wants to know your IG. She does our social media.
Okay.
So,
She was looking for a Slick.
why you handling that?
Right.
And I agree with you, but my thing is, it's like, why are so many people just jumping towards the sex now? And like that, it's not a lot of intimacy, so that the intimacy would be like some, the healed people, because okay, I have someone that says, well, Arisha, that's my boo, saying that baggage to her, or baggage equals the unresolved traumas, and I can definitely agree with that too, unresolved. But a lot of times now that, depending on what the trauma is, you see what I'm saying? Now I can some traumas I can relate to, even though they're unresolved. You might be able to help somebody if it happened to you. And like I said, we're not always talking about a childhood trauma where someone did something wrong to somebody. It could be somebody, well, if we're gonna keep it on the intimacy level or something, it could just be that someone has been cheated on so many times. You know what I'm saying? And then you show them, well, hey, through your actions. You see what I'm saying? We're not trying to go totally towards the left with traumatic experiences, because we know they can be super dark. And then exactly what she's saying, you're gonna enter a relationship with that unresolved, and it's gonna definitely cause a problem.
Okay.
But
It's underscore. I'm sorry. Underscore Hazel underscore now 25.
Okay.
Underscore Hazel underscore now 25.
Okay.
now what
Thank you.
what I would like to ask.
Real quick, Lady Line Love says, I lost my husband, so I'm not ready yet. So
That's right.
So that's
good.
Slick says they're not looking for their person, they're looking for Mrs. Right Now or Mr. Right Now.
Well, one thing I like to say is be careful, because there's some deceitful folks, that was the word of the day, that'll prey on women that are grieving, and that's whack. But it's some people that'll do that. And one thing I wanted to ask you though, what do you consider maybe some red flags would be? Because you mentioned that you came across a red flag, but do you have maybe 3 of your top red flags, or however many you want to rattle off?
Okay, well, number one, I didn't believe this at first, but I experienced it. Once again, we talked about experiences. If he don't have a good relationship with his mother, a woman, okay, because
I get
we got to learn how to forgive and forget. I mean, I love the Lord. I know everybody else do. I go to church every Sunday. I'm a Christian. I believe in the Bible and all that. I'm not perfect. So if he don't have a relationship with his mother, and it's real bad or whatever, how's he going to be able to treat you? Now, mind you, that's some of the first people you love is your parents, your mom, your dad. Okay.
So is the mother the only one? Could it be like a grandmother?
Yeah.
Okay, if the grandmama's
a
not
big sister.
here and the mom is still here, and you have a very strained relationship with your mom, that makes a difference on how you're going to treat me. And
You think so?
So
well, I experienced it, so I have to go by that, because I did not believe that at first.
Right.
Until I experienced it,
I
because
get
there
it
were
too.
some things that happened, and the first thing you do is revert to what your mama did.
Right.
So-
Right.
So that's definitely one.
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
A red flag. What kind of relationship he had with the women of his family. Okay. And then I'm just going, and I experienced this too. I don't know if God was saying, okay, you don't believe me, let me show you. I don't know. He has to have a relationship with the Lord. He has to at least love the Lord. I mean, and believe in God.
Okay.
I mean, who do you know don't believe in God? I don't really know anybody like that, but so when people say it or make jokes about it or whatever, I mean, that's what you think it is, a joke. And so because he needs to love the Lord, because that way he understands the hierarchy, how the house supposed to be ran.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? How he's supposed to love the Lord first, then his wife, then his children. And I mean, hey, call me crazy, whatever, but that's my opinion, and I've experienced it, and I've seen it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then, in all honesty, communication. That's key. I mean, we gotta have a hard conversation.
Right.
These are AKA names I'm using. With
Okay.
Sherman, we communicated well. That's probably the only thing that I could probably say. And that really got us far. So communication, but I've had relationships in the past, I haven't had those hard conversations. Either being afraid or I'm like, oh, that's not going to go over well. But we got to do it. And what we do as women, a lot of times we hold so much in. We're strong for everybody. What about being strong for ourselves? And the littlest things, like things, for me, I won't do this again. I guess because the occupation the person had, I would hold stuff in a lot. I wouldn't say nothing. I wouldn't, I'll share with someone else, but wouldn't share with him only because I'm trying to protect him and do all that. And in the meantime, I'm bleeding inside. So, I think communication is very important in a relationship.
Okay, so I'm going to spin this on both genders. So, mothers, okay, you said first that the dude would have to have a good relationship with his mother, but what if his mother was a drug addict and had a bad reputation and maybe gave him up for adoption, or maybe abused him, or maybe had him pimped out, or had him around men that definitely aren't, capable of raising the kid? Sometimes you're right, first of all, that he may resent his mother for that, but is that the child's fault of what environment that you put him in?
Some of that is, let me say this, some of that is true what you said, and that's fine. I guess what I need to say, if he forgave his mother, if he forgiven his mother, maybe he would have been able to deal with other issues. So let me take that back about if he have a good relationship, because I understand that.
Well, touching on
Oh, no. Here's another thing too, because like I said, it's both genders, and because there are some young women that resent their mother.
Absolutely.
And they go out and possibly have a kid just to spite them and things like this, or follow the same tragic path that she was doing, and then can't raise the son that she's having, or the daughter. Like it goes both ways. You see what I'm saying? And you're absolutely right. I just like to just put different perspectives on things. But yeah, to say that, I think no matter how or what someone has done to us, as far as if our parents, unless it's just continuously trying to put their foot on our throat, at some point you should kind of like just forgive, or shouldn't let that hate harbor to where you affect your bring that trauma into your relationship.
That's what
and treat other women like that.
Yeah.
Just like if it's vice versa, you shouldn't treat another dude in a negative way, depending on how you were brought up or what your dad or did to you or something similar to that.
Absolutely.
Touching on your topic as far as mothers and drug addicts and alcoholics, as a person who was raised by one and who doesn't know his father, I'm going to tell you that for me, it was not a case of that I disliked my mother. It was more of a case of I just didn't deal with her.
Okay.
I mean, that's okay.
You know what I'm saying? My grandmother took control of me. I mean, I was blessed enough to know my grandmother and my great grandmother and my great great grandmother. So as far as that was concerned, plus I had 4 aunts. So it wasn't a case of hating her. It was just a case of I didn't deal with her because I didn't see her much. You get what I'm saying? Like it was
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like it was like she was gone for 2 or 3 weeks at a time. So I wouldn't necessarily see her that much, but I didn't hate her. I just when she was
But
around,
did
she
you
was
forgive
around.
her? Whatever that was, did you just...
I mean, I'm going to say
didn't carry
I
that
recently
with you.
I started building a more a conducive relationship with her, but
Okay.
it was kind of like my father. You know, I don't know him, so I can't miss something or resent something that I don't know.
I was gonna say, so like really, you didn't have either parent to sway or to put emotions in.
Right,
If
right.
your mom was there, you definitely would probably have a little bit more aggression towards your father, because you would have maybe something to disagree with or someone to tell you what was wrong being done. But with neither one of them now, it's like flipping a coin, I'm assuming.
Right.
But so we pretty much handled that then, all of us, which is dope, because the next one was going to be parenting. So hey, but now we can bring up, how do you feel about social media and how it contributes to basically the topic that we're talking about?
It was just so many red flags, I tell you. It's not about... posting me or not
Oh,
posting
wow.
me.
Okay,
I mean,
okay, I
I
got
could
you.
care less because at first I wasn't doing that, but then you start as life go on, and it's a lot of layers to this. But what I'm saying is, social media have gotten people in trouble.
Yes, it
Let
has.
me just say that. And if you're secure in your relationship where you guys need to be, it shouldn't.
Exactly.
But it also shouldn't be a weapon either used in
I
your
got you.
relationship. You know, it's not that serious. It's that we come home and see each other every day. Not that I want to go through your phone or anything
yep.
like that, but it shouldn't be a secret. You know, it's
Yeah.
not that serious.
I try to keep my social media business. That way, if it's personal, business with this on my podcast, I might say a personal experience here or there, but I'm not trying to put anything out there unless I want it to be known. You know what I'm saying? And I don't put it out as often. But if I want it to be known, then that means I'm proud, and that pretty much means stay away. You see what I'm saying? Because you'll understand that if it's something I care about deeply, you may see that. Other than that, it's business. I could care less because I don't go to social media for what I need to do next or what's popping, what I feel like, who's doing this, who's doing that. And there's some people that'll tell you. They be trying to show me this, send me that, and or give me certain tips on certain things. As far as like, I got people in my group that I got DMs from, and I kind of appreciate the DM, but I'm not necessarily going, you know what I'm saying, because it's on something that's personal. And I already have who I need in my corner that I take advice for, you know what I'm saying, personal. So she dope with that. That's all I need. I don't need social media reaching out to me, you know what I'm saying, and distracting from what I got going on.
Lady Line Love says, treat people like they treat people like you want them to treat you. Starting with respect.
That's right.
Social media does ruin relationships. If you're doing too much, like sharing your business, then it can ruin your relationship. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I
So
totally agree.
we're going by what you want versus what you need. And I can say what I want. I want one piece, but I also want attention too. You know what I'm saying? And right now I want what I have. So with that being said, what I need, believe it or not, some of my needs, they're like health wise and stuff. You see what I'm saying? Like, I need to do this, I need to exercise, I need to get on this page, I need to get some more business or financial stuff going on. But as far as we're dealing with like a relationship wise, I don't need very much now because the wants are being handled. So if your wants being handled, then on the other end of that, you ain't really gonna need too much because we communicate, so I don't have to ask for a lot. And what I do appreciate is if it look like I'm going to the left or I'm not communicating right, meaning like, because I was gonna say sometimes too, because you mentioned communication, men, we got it bad because we already got adrenaline and we physical beings. So a lot of times we communicate with temper or we communicate with physical things, but that doesn't necessarily mean
y'all.
that we're gonna keep it going or we're mean about the stuff. It just, I understand now, you know what I'm saying, I need to dial it back some. But women, the way they communicate, it's gonna be a little bit more emotional. Sometimes it'll be more nurturing, or sometimes it may be a little bit jazzy.
You got
But
a comment?
Yeah, and I'm sorry, guys. This is my first time. So an older young lady, Miss Marie. Hey, I love you, Miss Marie. She said, when a man take care of his mother, he's gonna take care of his wife.
yeah, she's
And
right
she
about
said that's true.
that. Yeah.
Catalia said he wants peace and attention. Pick a side.
Right. Well, I think.
Oh, whoa, so you mean my attention ain't gonna
'cause I
give me no
haven't been-
peace? So my peace ain't gonna give me attention? Like, sometimes the attention calms you down depending on which one you want. But, pick a dog. See, that's how we...
You want attention or you want peace?
Damn, I can't get both? I'm quite sure she
Catalia.
want about 5 to 6, 7 different things that she's
Catalia,
gonna
he said
get
he
and
can't
deserve.
get both.
Right.
So
With
answer
a hot cooked meal. You know what I'm saying? That too.
Do you think people really know? Like, I mean, when we really sit down and think about these things, because the list changes. Do
Yeah.
people really know their needs and wants, because a lot of times needs and wants, your needs become wants and wants.
They start interchanging.
They start interchanging, and they start blurring the lines too. I mean, because we may think something is a need and it's actually a want. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know if people necessarily know, especially when it comes to relationships. Like, I can say I need this, but I also
I'll give you an
it could be the
example
opposite of
then.
what I'm saying, but I want this.
Okay, so basically what I mean by that is you may want somebody that is out of your league or somebody that you're not compatible with just because of what they look like, but what you would need would be somebody that's more your speed or more somebody that you can relate to. And I've fallen victim for that, wanting something, man, that maybe at this time, because a lot of like your stage and phase in life sometimes plays in with the sex and the intimacy too, because that's once age factor. But anyway, the phase in my life, if I'm financially shot, maybe I don't need to be going for someone that has more if I've already been on the field of being rejected for that. Just because I want it don't mean I need it, or just because I want it don't mean I'm gonna be able to get it. But certain things that you need, that's what you're gonna have to handle, or that's what you should focus on. If you need it, then it's for you, I would say, to a degree. I need someone with some stability, to be honest with you, because if I want someone that's halfway unstable, that's wild at my age, hell, it's gonna take me I might not be able to get the rest I want. You see what I'm saying? Or we might not be able to take these trips we want to take because I can't slow so-and-so down because I wanted something that was, you see what I'm saying? Something that, but I need something more my speed. And technically, when you look at it like these older dudes trying to get with these younger women, that's what they really want. But what you may need is someone your speed going through what you're going through physically at the same time. Because if let's just say me, I'm trying to get someone 23, 24, like, because I want that ain't really the best thing I need. You know my age. You know how, okay, would you say that's what I need, someone younger than me? Like,
well,
okay, bet.
I don't think any of us should. I'm 55. I don't think any of us should be wanting a 23-year-old. Not me and my age.
Or
because-
needing
wants
one.
to call in.
because I need to have a conversation.
All
When
right.
I'm going, and my son, like my youngest son is 33. Like,
I
what kind of
mean,
conversations we gonna have if I got a 33-year-old
Yeah.
son and a 36-year-old son and
Yeah.
a 35-year-old daughter? Like, what kind of conversations are we gonna have? You get what I'm saying? So,
I agree.
So she has a guest that wants to call in.
most
So
definitely.
we're going to give the floor to her. The number is 678-740-9894.
What I gotta do?
I'm telling him, pull your phone, that phone closer to you.
Oh, and this one, yeah.
Pull it close to you so you can hear it.
And when they call in, we can hear that. But if she can't hear me, you can tell her the number is 678. That's the number right up there.
Okay. You heard it. It's 678-740-9894.
If she decides she wants to
If
call
you
in.
want to call in. She said, I want to call in.
Okay, so basically, I think we would all agree
Thanks,
that
Sam.
compatibility can go for both, but it definitely helps more in the intimacy department. You know what I'm saying? If it's just straight sex, then what is it? Compatibility, because y'all physical, y'all both some acrobats or something, you know what I'm saying? But when it's intimacy, the compatibility can be dope, because let's say
Yeah.
you're compatible and you both like going on picnics, you like doing romantic things, or you want to go on a cruise, or you just want to do different things because that's your company that you keep. You have anything you want to add to that?
I just think that the lines have been blurred so much in 2026. Everybody going for nothing. For real. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't even know what's going on. I just feel like
Damn.
it's
Okay, I got
it's
you.
just too much, and I think that everybody need to really focus on themselves, because now we're normalizing stuff that's not normal.
Yep.
We're accepting things that's just not right. It's just it's kind of borderline ridiculous. So at this point, whether someone's on your level or not, how do you know? Anybody can come to anybody's level if they're willing to go.
I want to add something to the social media part.
Go ahead.
I think there's too many relationship gurus on social media that are messing up relationships.
Yes,
I
that
think
it
we've got
is.
to a point, like
Say
you
that.
said, in 2026, to where
Yeah.
everyone's getting their information from social
The
media,
numbers
be it
in the
wrong
chat.
or right,
Yep.
that
Yep.
is causing issues within relationships. You know, you got women thinking they should get a guy who who has $2.3 million to give to him, stuff like that. It's just a unrealistic. It's an unrealistic reality that we're going through right now.
That's it right there.
That's not the right number.
678-740-9894.
It's 9894. It's 678-740-9894.
So
Take the phone off. See if it's on. Just take it off. Yeah, it's on.
I'll say this though, because just to piggyback off of her, we have the futuristic mindset versus the casual here and now mindset nowadays. And a lot of people ain't thinking futuristic, meaning like I want to be with her to the end of time, or I want to plan this financially. That's because to me, like I said, I think I'm just stuck on this because age right about now, but I've always been that kind of person. Society changes, mentality changes, trends change. It wasn't this social media when I was growing up. You see what I'm saying? So I didn't have that to hinder me. All right, so appreciate you for calling the show. This Dosed Up. You speaking to Dose and Tisha. What's up?
This is Marie.
Okay. You have
And
the
I
floor.
was listening. Hello?
Yes.
Yes, and I was listening at the conversation, and as far as like the media, the Facebook, Instagram, that's when, to me, you're putting your business out like you said, if you was the guy that said it, because when two relationships is going on, it could be the man cheating on the wife and the wife cheating on the man. You don't know what it is, but I'm just saying how they get on Facebook, the other partner that they cheating with, to cause confusion in their house and go to showing things that their husband is doing. You understand me? And me, myself, I was married. I was with my husband 43 years, and my husband passed. And I will cook for him. Ain't a day he came home, he didn't have a meal. I will run in some water. And I hate to say this, but I don't even think they make them kind of men no more. I'm 66 years old. And that's it for me. Once he went to be with the Lord, that's it for me. And when that sister said about God is first, yeah, God should be first in every man's life and every young lady life, woman life. Then the kids. First, to me, to be honest, God was my first one. Then my husband. Then my children. So I'm going to keep it real with you. And that's just how life is with me. But now that he's going to be with the Lord, I told God he was going to be my husband. And I know I was going to be taken care of very good. That's right. Sure enough, I am.
Amen.
So I add this. Both my parents are still alive and they're still married. So I'm 50, so that'll give you a good idea that they've been, you know what I'm saying, married for a long time. So I have that to see and look up to. And I also could say that at a certain stage and phase in life, sex is gone in anyway, because you care, and like you say, you have the Lord in your life. You're not even focused on that. You're focusing on the energy, the happiness, the peace, and the time that you have being here, which is why I keep trying to tell to my audience, if you start out with intimacy when you're young in your 30s, you can have that spiritual relationship, that religious relationship. You can have the health relationship, the financial relationship, and then if you have offspring or kids, they're going to see that and maybe want to mimic that rather than everything else that single people do, broken-hearted people do, people with baggages and trauma does. And one thing I can say is, one, I appreciate your insight, and I always respect wisdom from those that may be my elders. So anything else that you would like to add?
Hello.
Okay. Yeah. Can you hear us?
I can hear you
okay.
now.
You still have the floor. Anything else you want to add? Go ahead. We're listening.
Okay.
We're learning, as a matter of fact.
Absolutely.
Huh?
I said, yeah, we're learning.
Yeah, but I'm just keeping it real. And I heard someone say they was raised up by their grandmother and their great grandmother, and I was raised up by three women: my father's mother, my mother's mother, because my mother was always working. She had two jobs, and so we had to stay with my grandmother. Let me tell you how it was. Now, my mother was mama to us. We say mama.
Okay.
Her father, we would say daddy. So, and he was a minister.
Okay.
So you could imagine what that house was like. Everybody had to be in the house together to eat at the table on time.
It makes a difference.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Makes a difference.
They don't do that no more. But let me tell you, I tried to do it where all my kids grown. They gone. But my husband used to do it because we was neighbors. We was kids. We grew up together, me and my husband. So he got the input from his father because his uncle was a minister living right next door. So, I mean, I just could say that I just thank God and give him all the praises and the honor that I was raised very well. And I'm 66 years old. People think I'm younger than what I am. And that's nobody but God the glory on me. So I give him all the praises. And I pray for other people, even people that I know that's going through something with their husbands or their wives. People will call me and talk to me so I could talk to them. And I thank God for that, to give me that kind of wisdom that people look up to me like that.
Amen.
You understand?
Yeah.
Miss Maria, I wanted to add to this. The blessed ones tend to keep their youthful looks.
Hallelujah. Glory to your name, Father.
The happy ones, the ones that carry that glow rather than that baggage. That's the one.
Absolutely.
Those are the ones that
Amen.
stay youthful.
Very
I got to commend you on that one. You are so true.
Well,
You
I
are so
definitely
true.
appreciate your
Thank you,
input
Miss
and you
Maria.
calling in.
Yes.
And
Okay.
feel free to definitely continue to watch this show and call in at any other time. We are on Monday nights at 8. So, and Tisha will be on again. So I can
I
best
will
believe
be
that.
on. That's my child. I adopted her.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
All right. Love y'all.
Love you
I'm getting
too.
back on. Okay.
All right.
Love you. Okay.
Bye.
All
Press the
right.
orange button. Press the orange button.
Cool. All right, I like that. Your first time here, and you got some participants. There we go. Yeah, that's what I'm talking. And we done learned something. You know what I'm saying?
Let me get
Got
a
some
couple
knowledge.
comments
What's up, man?
Here. Miss Lion Layla says social media is real people airing out their feelings. Slick 316 says, Alex is a relationship guy. I can tell the difference in him single and now being in a relationship.
See what I'm telling y'all?
That's
You
good.
see what I'm
Okay.
telling you though? You see?
Right.
You
That's
see
the
that?
goal.
And that's how I try to walk
Right.
that
So
line.
and so,
Like,
I know you happy.
And Slick says,
I know you happy, girl.
a lot of people now do not make decisions with God in mind. A lot
That's
of us,
right.
a lot of us were raised during the crack era and were raised by
Yeah.
our grandparents. But grandparents today,
yeah.
grandparents now are not the same as
Thank
our
you.
old
No,
school
they're not.
grandparents.
They're not.
So,
They're not. They're
Yeah,
not. They're not.
they're not.
They're not.
They're not.
But I do say, like, I give a lot of credit to the single mothers that got that backbone in them, where I've seen some with like 3-4 kids will have 2 jobs, still be in school, and not be stressing about no trauma about the man because they are so focused on their own life and their kids that they uplift something. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I don't like to make excuses. Parenting is parenting, no matter whether 2 people are doing it or not.
Absolutely.
Wisdom is wisdom. Like Miss Maria ain't my parent, but from what she was just saying, I could learn something. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's the energy and the message that you putting out there and the effort as well.
Absolutely.
So I also wanted to say, because that word of the day was deceit, which everybody know, but we're gonna get to the lies versus honesty. And it's the one thing that be breaking my heart when I hear women talk about, you know what I'm saying, their past experiences and traumas with men. It's always like they didn't know, they couldn't see the red flag. And so now I'm starting to understand. I'm like, well, damn, I can't say anything about your intelligence. It's about their deceit. and always continuously playing a role, a double life, trying to fly under the radar of somebody. I can understand how maybe you don't know that, because if they showing you one hand all the time, then that's what you're going to go by. One, because we had already established that we love the way that women are nurturing and caring, and they're going to give you that opportunity because they see the potential in you. But when you deceitful and you betray that, it's a wrap. And it's giving us like a bad name. You know, shoes to fall off of. So, man, I always try to start the relationship out with honesty, because you know I said it's harder to keep up with the lies that you tell. And then you're going to be like, who did I tell the lie to? Or when did I say that lie?
Right.
But if you're honest with it, you bring it on, whatever. I mean, you can't hurt honesty.
Thank you, can tell you.
Okay, anything someone says that you want to...
Anyone have anything to say they want to talk about?
And also, we're going...
Tell you, why you didn't call me? I'm sorry.
A clash of egos. What you think about egos when it comes to the intimacy versus maybe sex relationship, as far as people and what's being, I guess, kind of like promoted, man? Or I can just say, I'll start out like, once again, the person already said they can tell I'm in a relationship. So obviously my ego, you know what I'm saying, has to come down. Now, I have been told I talk a lot, and I talk a lot about myself, but that's simply with a formula of manifestation I have. So maybe I should kind of like try to manifest a lot of things sometimes, either in a meditation phase where I'm not always around someone, or just keep it in my head. So I do respect that. But it's, you know, a lot of times I would say that if, how can I say, egos, you know what I'm saying? If it's a back and forth thing, then it get competitive. How about that? And then competition in relationships, you know what I'm saying? That's definitely, to me, a no-no. Clash of egos can also happen when somebody might think they're better than somebody at something physical, or when somebody thinks they deserve something and not necessarily even stated it, or just deserve something, or like, hey man, you should just be happy because it's me. That type of thing definitely can affect what you got going on, or the mood.
So I'm going to say this. First of all, when you're freed from people's opinion, you don't really care about nothing else.
Gotcha.
And I think that most of these men in 2026 need to experience what I would call an ego death. Because the Bible talks about the pride come before the fall. Okay, so that being said, if we revert back to what I said, putting God first, I know that, you know, we do things. We're not perfect, I get that. But you can be told something that you don't know. And when you're in a relationship, it's two people, it's not one. You know what I'm saying? You're not above me, I'm not above you. We're supposed to be doing this together. So I think when you experience an ego death, then you allow God to pour into you and people to pour into you, and you're open to listen. That's just my opinion.
So sometimes the clash can come with remarks, insults, no reciprocity. What's that word, man? I done got the reciprocity. What
Reciprocity.
yeah, just
No reciprocity.
Here we all like trying to figure that out. Anyway, I definitely can't. Let me try to spell it here.
Okay.
But anyway, when it ain't being reciprocated, we'll say that. I know how to say reciprocated.
I use my ego for protection in past relationships.
But sometimes that can help if you warding off something that may be negative, or okay, a lot of times, sometimes your ego has to inflate if someone is attacking it unnecessarily, or if it's not the truth and you want to stand on something, then your ego kicks in effect. But other than that, man, I will agree with her. Like, you have to have a death of it, I guess. Or like me, what curbs my ego and puts me in and makes me humble is I've been through a lot of rejection before. So
Absolutely.
I mean, I already know I'm not the best thing smoking to everybody. So I mean, I just try to focus on being the best me that I can be.
That's
and
right.
then for those who allow me to be in their life because they got some kind of compatibility with me, then I try to be the best version of myself for them, as well as be the best I can for them, or try to help them out as well, rather than hinder.
I think for me, I had an ego death when I got married, but now I have an ego
Okay.
Come on.
Because my problem was
Like
before I was very passive aggressive. I was just a quiet person. I just wanted my wife and my children to be happy. My feelings and what I wanted would always last. So once I got divorced and sat back and looked at myself and said, okay, now what is it that I like? Because I didn't know. I mean, I really literally did not know. Everything I did was for them.
That's how I feel.
And so what happened was, over time, after experiencing, being with different women and stuff, is seeing how, most of them wasn't really, they wasn't about protecting me. They was always about protecting themselves. Yep. Like the young lady just said. Now I use my ego as protection. I use my ego it used to be a time where I would listen to you and I would, deal with it and whatever. Now I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not compromising on nothing.
Come on.
You get what I'm saying? Like I used to, but now I'm not compromising on nothing. If I don't want to deal with it, I'm not. If I don't want to talk about it, I'm not. If I don't want to go there, I'm not.
Yeah, now I need to learn that. I need to learn that. I need to learn
now
that.
you're protecting yourself. And
Right.
we got to understand it's not a competition. We're in a relationship.
Right,
we love
right,
each other.
right.
Let's get to the bottom of what's going on and move on. That's it. That's all.
And I know me. I know
Yeah.
who I am. I know what I've dealt with and what I don't want to deal with.
Yeah.
And I know I don't want any heartbreak that comes with what I dealt with.
Yeah.
So for me, they may say it's baggage or whatever, but for me, it's always going to be, because I'm on the, let's be real. My summers are less. So
Yeah.
for me, my summers are
Got to be golden.
right. I got to
Enjoy them things, man. I don't need to be
a
having no
steady
headache.
flow of happiness as much as
That's
I can
right.
because I don't want to end my summers on a sad note.
Yeah.
Right.
So for me, I am just not going to compromise. I'm sorry. Like Slick said earlier, if people gonna deal with you, they gonna deal with you earlier.
So-
Why
That's
lie?
right.
I know who I am. I know what I am, and I know what I'm not going to do. That's just how it is.
Now I gotta compromise because me not compromising means that means I'm expecting everything I want someone else to do, they gonna do it in the way that I want. So if I'm not willing to compromise, how can I expect what I want to happen the way I want?
I get
So I
what you're
keep an
saying.
open mind of being able
I
to
don't
compromise.
expect anything though. See, that's the difference. I'm not going to necessarily expect anything more out of you than I'm willing to give.
Come on.
But I am not going to go that extra mile to see or to give more than what you are
Give
giving.
it to me.
So-
I used to do that. Like I was very guilty of that. I was very trying to make sure that a smile stayed on my ex-wife's face 24/7, and it just wasn't possible.
No,
which
it ain't
made
gonna
me
never happen.
miserable.
But see, this is the thing. Once again, depends on where you start out in your relationship. See, you just said your summers is limited, right? So if you meet with somebody now, you might be able to keep a smile on their face because look at where we at.
Right.
So what I'm trying to do is not go relive all that young boy shit that I had.
Right.
Because I'm older now. So we past that.
Right.
So women that are my age bracket have a different conversation and
That's
a
right.
different expectation.
Come on.
Because they are mature. So I'm going to expect something from you at this age because when I was younger, I didn't expect shit. It's just what I wouldn't accept. But now at this age, I expect a certain type of rapport or a certain type of characteristics. When you're our age now, I mean, it's different now. Like, so if you out here doing something that somebody 30 and 20 doing that don't make no sense, we ain't on the same
One thing
frequency.
that I've learned, and you guys can expound on this if you want to.
After you go, we got her right.
Okay, okay. One thing that I've learned, just in relationships in general, is that my guilty part was thinking that a person who's in a relationship with me and loved me, claimed that they love me, was going to protect me when they're not around me, and that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
So I have to know that I can't, I can't expect someone to protect my feelings when they're not around me. So I was very guilty that probably hurt my feelings more than anything because I'm thinking to myself, you in love with me. We in love. We building stuff together. So why should I expect you to treat me any differently when you're not around me. You should always be wanting to protect me and my feelings because I'm damn sure going to protect you and yours when I'm not around you. And I think a lot of times that's just not the case. We expect it. We think it's happening, but I don't think it happens a lot. I don't think that's the case.
Go ahead.
So Tan said the crazy part is my exes was in competition with me. I was willing to be a team player until I didn't feel safe to be a partner. It's deep.
Okay.
It's deep, and let me expand a little.
Competition, good lord. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna expand on that. Tell me what you do with this. You say, "Oh, I'm gonna be married again. I'm gonna do everything right. I'm gonna do this. No, I'm not gonna do this. This used to be me. I'm gonna do this," and you do everything right. Because, and when I say everything right, nobody's perfect, but the things you do, the way you would normally react, you don't react. The things you would say, you don't say.
Okay.
The way you would respond, you don't respond. That's total change. And then something happened. So tell me how you begin to trust again. How do you get there? You don't. You just say, I've done everything. I mean, that part of the life.
But that's the thing. Okay. So did one bad car stop you from ever buying another car again?
Well, remember,
Or
it's
do
your
you-
second time.
Oh, well, okay. See,
So
something.
to this to make a
you
third
talking about second time marriage?
Yeah.
Okay, so my thing is this: don't put too much emphasis on the marriage. Put more emphasis on who they are and who you're with first. Marriage is the business and the certification of this shit. But so you gotta be like, I'm not gonna marry someone I don't know. Now, if you fool me after, and so it takes enough time. Well, it take me a certain amount of time first. I'll say that. Now, once I get to that threshold of that time, and I decide to do this, because I will say there have been people that they said they were married for 14. You said, and so but you said you were deceived. Well, or kind of so. Now, but if you spend enough time with somebody, you're gonna see the phases that they go through. Now, whether or not you take notice of it and whether or not you go for it. Because here's the thing. In a lot of these relationships that I see, people already know people's triggers. They know what to say to make people mad. They know so they know that person. So if you're intentionally doing the negative things to me to get up under my skin, then why would I marry that? And this starts happening before marriage. If you say you know somebody, because usually you marry who you know, right? So if you know them, don't you know some of the tricks that they pulled on you? What they say, if you definitely know what they like, and what they do to be intimate, or what they doing in the bed. So you kind of know what they don't like. But now, if what they don't like is so bad, and you keep doing it, that's a red flag not to be with them. You just gonna go by what you like more about her or him, and bury that in your mind. The signs have been there or will be there. And I heard someone say, a man will take but so much, basically, and then he gonna silently leave. Like when the man gets silent, when the man get fed up and don't care no more if somebody looking at you, don't care no more if somebody gets you lost him, trust me. But with a woman, when a woman get fed up to the point where they no longer have an emotion attached to you or compassion for you, then you do as a man. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like balanced as far as what the man, you know what I'm saying, the woman, as far as like what we kind of like dislike or what we don't necessarily want to happen to us. But
So it says, I just said that people are jealous of their mates, and some don't even know it. She did say that earlier, and I just couldn't get to it.
Now,
she also says, but
great.
being bitter from a past relationship can't go with you in your new relationship. It's not
oh
fair.
hell no. And I think though, here's the thing, the jealous part, they know it. We all know what jealousy look like, and we all know what it feel like. Whether we're willing to acknowledge it or not is another thing. Now, like, a jealous person don't want to admit it, but you can see it. It's in their actions. It's in their movement. It's in the way that they treat you. It's in the way that if they always want to one up you or compete. Usually the competitive person is kind of the jealous person.
Right. Okay. So let me ask a question.
And you can answer this question.
I had to take my time before you said that. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just want to say, because I hear everything, and the only, like I say, red flag was the God part. But I want to say
That's
this.
a big part, though, now.
Well, yeah, but it was mass. But let me say this:
Gotcha.
Tyler Perry got an actor out there because the wool was over my eyes.
Oh
for
wow.
14 years.
Okay.
Totally different person. So I'm starting to have grace for people because what I went through, honestly, laying beside somebody for that long and all that, you would think that I would at least know that this would be what they would do.
I got you.
No argument, no nothing, and then vanish, poof, like you didn't exist. Like the Lifetime movies when I guess somebody that one with the girl, she died, she come back away. I'm serious. It's really like that, and so that really can traumatize someone.
And people change during a relationship. Like when I was married for 25 years. The change didn't happen till the 18th, 19th year.
See?
So like
That's a long time. That's almost 20 years.
You know, it just didn't happen. I mean, you see little signs of certain things, but just a dramatic change and a dramatic shift to what really ultimately broke us up was it didn't happen till the 18th, 19th year. And I'm guilty, and I'm very guilty of not listening. I wasn't listening to what she was saying, So to be honest with the shock of it all, I really can't say I was really shocked because she was telling me stuff like, I feel like I got married too young. I feel like
them the signs right there, them hints.
I feel like I missed out on a lot of things.
With the wisdom,
you know what I'm saying? I feel like I missed out on a lot of things being married young and having children. So those things were building up. I don't know when they started building, but I started hearing it around 17, 18, 19 year. You know, we've been in this for a long time. We've been married since we were 18. Now, coming up 36, 37, here we go.
See, now, sometimes that means almost like you really didn't have a variety. You didn't have very much experience.
She felt like she missed out on something.
Sometimes, yeah, like I'll be honest with you, man. If I was married at 16, 17, 18, I'm like, man, I missed that. Like
but
what?
I didn't feel that way. I was always, because I had children. So I was.
But do you feel that way now that you think back at it?
No.
But the children definitely take that out, and
no, I didn't feel any. I've never been a type of person who wanted to just be out there. That just never was my. And we could say it was from my childhood experiences because my mom was out there, but I just never was that type of person who just wanted to. I always wanted the security of being with one person, we building something together, and it was always me and us against the world. I've always felt that way. But I can't get mad at someone else for not feeling that way. People have experiences. They want to do things. They want to see things. And necessarily being tied to you or me is not something that they want to do. They don't want to have to answer to nobody when they gone for 2 or 3 days. They feel like they should come and go as they please. But that's just not how a relationship is built.
But see, kids don't even do that. You see what I'm saying? Everybody deserve the respect of when you finna open up a door and come in or not. You might get blasted nowadays. But anyway, I will say this though. I've always been a loyalty versus infidelity type of person. So that's gonna automatically kind of like put me in the category of the relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, what can we build? What can we make something special, or at least let me take you off the market temporarily, and then if this ain't it, then at least neither one of we practicing for when we find that You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I'm not practicing doing you dirty. It just didn't work. You know what I'm saying? I'm young. You see what I'm saying? But at least I tried one at a time, young. Or something similar to that.
Oh, good.
So now, also, how did you meet? And where you meet these people, that plays a lot into what's going on. You see what I'm saying? So
let me ask a question to you, as someone who's into the church and into God. Do you think when you meet men at church that they are a viable partner, or if they approach you at church that they're a viable partner? Because I've heard women say that I've met this guy at church and he was terrible. Like, do you? I mean, in your experiences, I'm not saying that you're experiencing that you're dating now. I'm just saying what you've seen or maybe what you've heard. Is that the case, or is it just hearsay?
I'm gonna be honest. Except for childhood, I probably wouldn't date anybody at the church. I know that sound.
At any church or just your church?
simply not at church.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
I hear this whole thing. You want to find somebody, go to church. So I'm at church to worship. My worship is for real.
Right,
So
okay.
I'm really not doing it at church. Not saying I haven't seen some people, but that's just not where I want to fellowship.
Okay.
I used to look at it like sometimes churches where they go to get them demons off of them. A lot of these folks, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody shot a bird at me coming out of church one time. I was like, man, I definitely ain't going to that one. Seriously, I'm like, damn, you ain't even get off the lot yet. You ain't even get off the lot yet. I if I had some holy water, I'd have thrown it at them.
Right.
But either way it go, like to me, I'd just rather find you and we can go to church together. I don't have to meet you
Absolutely.
at church.
I
Right.
like
You see what I'm
that. I
saying?
like
Like church is within us anyway, and God is within us. So you know, what difference does it make if you go into church but you hell raising when you get out of it?
Right.
You causing people problems, or you don't went to church to confess and pray about the 3 women you dragging. So
Say
I
that.
think a lot of times we don't realize that a lot of people who do go to church, and I'm not bashing church.
no, definitely
I read
not.
the Bible, I study, I pray. Don't get me wrong, but what happens is a lot of people who go to church don't really take in what the word says,
Come on.
because if they did, a lot of the stuff that we do to each other,
We wouldn't be doing.
necessarily
That's
be
what
doing.
that's what
doing.
I was saying
So
earlier.
because
yes.
we don't get it. Slick says, Alex, do you think having both your parents at home made you different in relationships than your single parent friends?
No.
Okay.
But I say 50-50. The reason why I said no is because I made up in my own mind how I wanted my relationships and lives to go with that. Not to mean it's going to go by the script that I made, but like how the person just said they could tell Happy Alice and Red. I wanted to be like that
was
first
slick.
of all.
That person was slick. She gonna get mad at you. on
Okay. and it's like, you know, it's having them in my life. What I saw is the ups and downs of it, and I see the golden years. I want golden years, but I want to be a little bit physically able to enjoy them.
Okay.
What I don't want is to experience certain things like what my grandma did, where your spouse passes and you have almost, what can I say, about 40 something years of singleness. You see, you see what I'm saying? Because it's nothing out there for you now, and you had maybe 30 something years with someone. You see, so, but I just they didn't really mold that, because the way that their relationship is definitely not how mine is. Also, I'm very fond of women. So trying not necessarily say to be a ladies' man, meaning attracting them like a ladies' magnet, but a ladies' man meaning like, what does it take to make my lady feel like she's specifically for me in mind, and my soulmate to a degree. So you have to have a particular mindset to want to project that type of energy on a person. And I like to say that this is the first time that I've been successful with it. So I'm definitely gonna roll with it.
Slick says church people can be a trip. PK kids do the most. A lot of church members are not so holy outside of church.
Right,
Hell no.
and that's why I said,
Yeah.
like, I don't know
Badass
about,
kids.
I'm not, okay, I don't want nobody coming back to my Facebook playing this clip if I was to meet a man at church, okay?
Oh, I
I'm
got
not looking for a man at church, because
Yeah.
I go there for my spiritual food,
On it.
and I'm
That's-
focused. So I want people to know that. But if God saw him in church, which I'm not looking, I'm good. Believe me, I'm for real. I'm learning a lot about myself. Who don't know that they don't know themselves? But I realized I didn't know myself.
Yeah,
And the things that I'm going through now, I am learning myself, and I'm having fun, okay? So anyway, to piggyback on that, I'm not looking for no one at church, because I'm going to church for something else. And he's right. Because I hear that all the time. Go on to church and get you a old big booty girl. I hear that and I'm like, oh my God, what? So you really got people that dress up and go to church to look for somebody. That's not me. Let me see what someone said. no matter what you go through in a relationship, if both parties will fight and willing
Yeah,
to forgive
yeah.
and understand,
Yeah.
you can make it. That's true. But
Yeah,
mine wasn't
yeah.
willing to fight. That's fine.
And it
I'm
shouldn't
okay
be
with
over minuscule things with the fighting or continuously. But I like this. I add to this. When I stopped looking for the love in the relationship, that's when it came, and it found me. So but that's with a lot of things I said, like with life. You see what I'm saying, Lab? You know, I was like, hey man, when I like, okay, I wasn't concerned about showing myself, you know what I'm saying, in the exercises,
Right.
but now I'm filming myself and filming other people. I wasn't
Right.
concerned about likes and insight and views and all this other stuff. Now it's rolling for me when you know. So, but now that doesn't mean that because I wasn't looking for it, I don't appreciate it. I don't understand when I have it, and I don't accept it.
Right.
So
right.
now that I've seen how life hands me blessings when I'm not looking for them, sometimes I look for what I can do for someone else, or look for what I can do to continue to keep what I have. So look, okay, one more thing, yeah, because we getting ready to wind it down some, so we like to.
Just really quickly, what I can say is learning about myself has also helped me to grow and be a better person. I'm a hopeless romantic. I love love. I like to be in love. I love to see people in love. But I realize right now that's just not what's supposed to be happening. And like you said you wasn't looking.
Exactly.
And people to keep telling me, stop, be careful what you speak, which I believe that, because I said I don't want to get married no more. I don't want a husband. I'm not interested in no relationship, and that's the truth. But what I do realize, when you're not looking, if that's a part of me God wants me to explore, He'll make it happen.
Exactly.
But right now, it's all about me and what, you know what I'm saying, what Tia wants and what Tia needs to be successful or whatnot.
And those are really the components of manifesting it for you. You're not sitting here stressing on something. When you stress on something, you're gonna form. That stress is gonna form into something, and it might be that man that you said you wanted, but it's not because you stressed about it. When you like, I could care less. Like you say, my heart right now is with God. I'm walking on something positive. I'm learning what I want. I'm learning to be me. Well, that energy is forming too, and then that may be that person that you want because you're not stressing on it and you're not looking for it, and it's gonna come to you like it came to me, because I stopped trying to form something that didn't exist, or form something from wanting something that I couldn't have. And when you stop wanting and projecting, I need this, I want this, I want this, oh yeah, it ain't happening, or sometimes you have to flip the script too. You can't say that you're lonely or you by yourself. You say you're healing, you're meditating, you're building, you're repairing, and you're becoming better. And that forms, because there's somebody else out there that's your counterpart that's probably doing the same thing. And the next thing you know, you look up and boom, they there.
Absolutely. That's good. That's good, Alex. Yeah.
So if anybody has anything else they would like to add, they can now. If not, we're going to be like, hey, I appreciate everything.
Basically, Marie said she feels so much better when she lost her husband. She didn't say that, but, you know, and she's learning how to live her life, I guess, without him. And what she's basically saying, when she go to church, it gives her some kind of sense of something. And that's why I say spiritual food.
Okay.
We got to eat. We have to feed ourselves. I go to church spiritually. That helps me to get through the week. Thank you, Maria, everybody that participated. I appreciate you all.
All right. This was an awesome episode. I thank you for coming, and we definitely going to have you back. So
Thank you,
with
Kwame.
that being said, appreciate everybody for tuning in and listening. And I know I'm up out of here. I'll be back next Monday, though. Appreciate it.
Yay. Thank you all.
Yeah. Grams leaders CC's, pounds. Close cash, close call, close encounter, close up, pounds of leaders of grams, get your dose up, cut this up, post up, and get dosed up. This for your vote, they like to move and make the most. post up. Monday night at 8, I can't wait to set you straight. These opinions and debates for them folk that can't relate. I got to elevate your mind through these signs of the time. Dishing out that medication for that deaf, dumb, and blind. And I ain't hard to find, you can catch me in them trenches. I do the groundwork and I ain't waiting on no sense. I be touching on them topics politicians fail to mention. And I don't vote for nobody that ain't got good intentions. I'm relentless for my people and I'm here to make a change. I got that truth serum hooked directly through your veins. Hey, this is for my people, tune in, catch a close up. Close up, close up, a close up, grams of it. Tune in, catch a close up, pounds of it, yeah, grams of it, liters up, pounds.